Hello, hello, hello. My name is Steve. Today, we're going to be talking about something that might be a little touchy to some people. That's right, you saw it from the thumbnail. We're going to be talking about Saitama. Not specifically the old Saitama. We're going to be talking about Saitama Wolf Pack, which is a new cryptocurrency. I decided to do a live stream instead of a video, basically because I feel like I would have done it already. So if I mess up, I mess up. I don't have to re-record. If I get interrupted, I don't have to re-record. We're going to try to use as little time as possible because time is valuable. So if you haven't met me, my name is Steve. I'm also named Crypto Camo. As you can see, I love my crypto. I love my camo, which is why you can get the name. I would like to kind of give you a recap of why I decided to talk about this crypto and what is it about Saitama Wolf Pack and why I even thought of it. First, Saitama Inu, actually, if you really want to be specific, was one of my first DeFi tokens. There's a lot of lessons to come with crypto, and I get to share them with you. Actually, I take that back. I say one of them because Shiba Inu was one of my first ones. I learned some gas fee lessons with Shiba Inu by locking up my Shiba and getting bone, realizing that there's 2 payments for gas fees, and those get expensive. Not no more. It doesn't seem like it anymore, but I also haven't seen the blockchain or the fees so busy where you can see some of those expensive ones. So I feel like I can give you some kind of some help, try to avoid some of the mistakes I've done in the past. So here's my history of Saitama. I bought Saitama, or better yet, let me show you on the screen. I bought Saitama. Somehow I was able to find this chart. I bought Saitama at the end of July or middle of July, somewhere around there. And I started small. I didn't know what was really going on with it. It wasn't a huge name, so I didn't feel like I wanted to waste money. But before I bought into it, it seemed like I watched Chad Redding's channel, and he talked about it a lot. And it seemed like he was a decent guy. He didn't really influence a lot of different tokens. He wasn't saying buy, and you should check out this. He was always one trying to read the charts. And that's what I liked about the guy. I didn't see a lot of influence back there. Now, correct me if I am wrong, but I feel like in 2021, I didn't see 2018, but 2021, it didn't seem like there were a lot of influencers. I actually feel like I got to see the whole blossom of influencers. And I think there are some good influencers out there. I also feel like there are some influencers out there who should not be influencers. I don't consider myself an influencer. I consider what I do is do your own research. And I hope that I can help you do your own research. So when I bought into this token, I was down here. So it was at a very low point. Only a few influencers were talking about it, or YouTubers, I guess you would say. And I saw it go down. When I first bought it, everybody was kind of talking, not everybody, quite a few people were talking about it. And it wasn't at a high market cap. But then I saw it go down. And the more I started listening into the team, I tried to, what I thought was do your own research back then, which is completely different now. I feel like I was confident in the way that they sold me. Like, they did a good job at selling me on it. So I did this thing called DCA, dollar cost average. And that's how I kind of invested more into this. So when I saw it go down, I bought more into it. I think I maybe $200 worth, maybe a little more than that. But it wasn't until it started just being a little smaller and smaller, because the ETH fees were stupid. And I found a perfect time to actually buy that kind of stuff. And I kept on buying in. Well, here's the cool part about that. I started to see my Saitama Inu go up in price. Then I saw it fall. I saw it go up high. I got to see that all-time high in November, where the promise of utility was going to come out, and it didn't come out. But that's fine. I get it. You know, things happen. I'm a forgiving person, and maybe probably too forgiving. And so when that didn't come out, and I saw the FUD, that's kind of where I started feeling you have to kind of pick sides. You either trust in the process and you start kind of have to have that conviction in a project. Like quick intel is one. I am convinced that they are a great project. They are not as popular as some tokens out there or some meme tokens, but what they have a great project. And I will talk about that. I don't get paid by them. Even if Ninja decided to offer me tokens, I don't want to feel like I'm being paid to do it. I want to talk about it because it's my own volunteer time to talk about it. And so I wasn't paid to talk about Saitama Inu. Actually, I wasn't really into the whole YouTube. I wanted to. I just didn't have the time. Didn't know how to do it. And so when I saw Saitama Inu kind of dwindle down, I started seeing more and more FUD and less. And then you jump into the Twitter spaces and you hear what's going on. Then you kind of find out what's really going on. And that's when that project kind of died. Max did not develop something like he was supposed to. But then I saw him jump to another project and I thought I'd give him another chance. And that was when TARP, totally a rug pull, came in, when they decided to try and create utility. So another opportunity to see utility from a dev team to try to really push the idea that it can actually help the community. And same thing happened. I drank the Kool-Aid. I was sold on what they were doing. I believed it. And then when another scanner came out, and then all of a sudden FUD started coming around, then you had to pick side, and it turned in more to a tribalism. But then again, you either are convicted or convinced that it's a real project and you believe in what they're doing, or you don't. And there was a point where I started believing more and more, but then again, I didn't. So why am I talking about the old Saitama Inu? Why am I talking about the old projects that sold, like they saw me coming? But I was the exit liquidity in both projects. And I hate it because that's not how cryptocurrency is supposed to be. But this new project, where are we at? Saitama Wolf Pack. Now, I heard about Saitama Wolf Pack from somebody in Discord, and I believe them. I like talking to them. I like how they're in the same Discord as me, so we have our fun, we have our laughs. And when he messaged me about Saitama Wolf Pack, I liked the idea. But I got into it at the V1 here. And here's where I kind of started getting questionable about it. When I saw Tom, and he kind of, like his last stream with the other 3 YouTubers, he kind of said the same things that I kind of felt with the old Saitama. How they were a dev team trying to develop utility, then they're going into real estate. I liked the idea. I even liked the whole Lily Finance thing, because the blockchain on insurance or medical, that could be a cool utility. And again, I drink the Kool-Aid. I really thought that was something that was going to be done. But without seeing proof, all it was a dream. And I learned my lesson again. Maybe I am too trusting. Maybe cryptocurrency is not my thing. Maybe DeFi is not my thing. But this is the new chart for Saitama Wolf Pack. And the reason why I wanted to do this video, this stream, because I am tired of seeing these small tweets or these YouTubes where they say 20 bucks. 20 bucks and you can be a billionaire or a millionaire. That was like the same thumbnails that I saw with Shiba Inu. Shiba Inu to $1 or Shiba Inu to 1 cent. And with as many tokens as you get, obviously you would do pretty well. Especially if it got to $1. However, I think that the word Saitama is just a taste of vinegar, unless you like vinegar, that I don't see how many will be convinced. Because what I understand about this token is that they want only community from old Saitama. Saitama Wolf Pack. They are very active in their Telegram. They are very active on their Twitter space. They're doing, I think it was, I saw Deb is doing a space or giveaways with that as well. Now, I bought into the first one. I was given the airdrop for the second V, and I didn't invest much. I kind of did the same thing with the other Saitama. And sad to say, I lost some. I made some profit. I mean, what I started doing is taking some trades into it. So I buy high or where I think it's high, then I buy low. Eventually, my goal is to sell everything. I don't want to be the one holding the bag as some did in the last one. And I think that's where this project is going. Now, here is their white paper. First, before I click on this, I am not telling you to buy this token. I am not telling you don't buy the token. I am simply telling you to do your research. This is a white paper right here. This is their website. Before I do any of that, I take their contract and I run it through the scanner. Now there's a big difference from scanning something on Solana and scanning something on the EVM chains. You can see malicious code when it comes to Ethereum, Base, BSC, all those different chains. If there is malicious code inside of those contracts, this scanner will tell you all the information you need. Can't read the blockchain, it will give you the AI definition. With Solana, with SUI, some of these separate blockchains, you only have a few things. So for example, it tells you they can't freeze trading, which is a good thing. They can't mint any more tokens, which is a good thing. Has delegated token ownership? No. Verified on the blockchain? Yes. Locked or burned liquidity? Yes. There are 2 cautions. They can update fees and taxes, which that's where you kind of have to do your research. Can they update it to 50%? Can they update it to 100%? Is the idea that they have maxed it out to 5%? I have no idea. Could they turn it off so that way there is a contest to buy in? Data changeability. I believe that this is just the information on the name of the token. Whether a token's metadata can be changed, yeah. So I could be wrong. I'm not 100% sure. I usually say that when I see that because I tend to want to do research on that, but then I don't. So that is a contract after you just scan it. You can't run Shadow Shield on it, which is kind of a bummer. The tools, it doesn't give you much except for the website. And there are no recent actions in the contract. There are no similar contracts. There are no exact contracts. It is not verified. And what verified is this information here. If I see a verified check mark next to there, it gives me more confidence because I'm a big fan of Quick Intel. And what NinjaDev and the team is doing, it gives you just a little more confidence. So if they were to go through Verify, Quick Intel's Verify, it enhances the user confidence, central location for security data, all data mode are made available on the API and third parties, unlimited updates. When a project is Quick Intel verified, this means Quick Intel team has validated all KYC and or external audit data. KYC verification validation involve the Quick Intel team validating the submitted KYC data. And if you went through Assure or Solid Proof, you can also use that information as well. External audits, you can always check right there to see how much it costs. That would always be a step to trying to convince your team. Just because you show a face, we've seen it. Just because you show a face does not give you 100% trust me, bro. And so that's kind of my advice when it comes to projects. If you're serious, is to go through something like that. If you haven't realized, Quick Intel is pretty popular when it comes to going onto scanners. Actually, they're the only ones that can do Solana right now. So back to Quick Intel scan. Here is something interesting. Top holders. Top holder concentration. No. High level of equal holders. This is where I probably would get a hair bit concerned with that. In the old contract or the old project, I don't know who the actual team was who created the whole thing, but tokens were given to YouTubers to talk about the channel. That's where I feel like, this is just my opinion, that's where I feel like that kind of squashes on those new investors, those who believe in the project, because they didn't buy in like everybody else. They were just given. And so if you were given $1,000 worth of tokens and it ended up 10xing or more, and now your $1,000 is 10K, yes, great, you took profit, but you also didn't exactly put your own money in, so it's easier to squash on that. The team who holds everything, I don't know them. And from the very first, I think it was V1, it just seemed like there was too much headbutting in the team. And I think that was kind of the problem, which is why they went to the V2. Tom is the one who's on the project. And I feel like there's something about Tom that I kind of like. Let's see if I can find the team here. Maybe the white paper has it. No, not there. Not there either. Newsletters. Nothing there. The LLC. View our documents. Okay, so I don't see anything on the actual team up and in the front page. So here are my thoughts on some of that stuff. First off, this is kind of a cool website. No wolves left behind. The idea is trust the process and to give it a second chance. A lot of people got squashed during that first one who didn't take profits, who didn't understand all of it. And so in their Telegram, they talk about education, trying to help people learn about the blockchain, about crypto safety. And so when you see some of this stuff, I like the idea of that. I think there are going to be some genuinely good-hearted people in the project. I also feel like there are nuts. I'm not saying I have talked to any of these people. Part of me just thinks that some are in for the money and they will put the face on and then they'll be gone. Even if the price goes up and then when it goes down, people just don't like to see big, like when you saw huge sales like this, it's like the community changed and they hated people. When you saw these dips, you had people who believed in the project, who says trust the process or the great buying opportunity. And that's the kind of stuff I believed in and I would buy in. One thing I have learned in cryptocurrency, it's your money. It is yours. Do with it what you will. Be respectful. I have no idea. That's completely up to you. Does that change the fact that some people are mad? No, they'll still be upset. Why? Because only one person right up there at the very top could sell at that very top. One thing I learned in crypto, there's only one person who can sell at the very top. Because this right here, at this day, on October 22nd, someone sold, that was the very top. And one person got to sell there. If you trust the team and the project and the token and you sell here, then you sold at the top. Same thing up here. Someone, I don't know who, sold at the very all-time high. And they were the only ones that could do that. Anyone below them had a lower amount. So if someone dumped their whole wallet to come all the way down here, of course it fluctuated. And people down here were upset because they believed it. And so that's what we're going to kind of walk through today. When you look at a token, you have to ask yourself, what are they doing? Do you believe in what they're doing? Is it just for giggles? They seem like they're going to be doing a Las Vegas event in 226 days. Some people not like that. Some people might not like that because it kind of gives them a back feeling to the last time. Some people feel like this is something. Like this is enough confidence that they have an LLC. Part of me wants to think maybe LLCs aren't so popular. Like I know there were trends. It was have a contract that is unchangeable, a renounced contract. That's the important part. Then it turned to you got to have it unrenounced. So you and the team can change things if need be. Then it was taxes. Well, we need to have a wallet for taxes. I get it. There are some reasons behind all of that. Having the liquidity locked for so long. How long? You had some stupid idiot projects that would lock their tokens up for 99 years. What's the point of that? Why not just burn them if they're going to be locked that long? You have some who are only going to do it week by week, month by month. Why are they doing that? You have some projects who have zero taxes. Some people say you can't make money that way and you don't have projects. Well, I have a project who does have zero taxes and they still have enough sustainability to run for a couple of years. Another thing this was kind of funny because now that I'm on the other side of it, it was, if you haven't seen this stuff, it is pretty funny. This is kind of what happened. Like if you were somebody who was not behind the scenes and saw this actually take place, this cartoon is very funny. And Max, gosh, I still can't believe I didn't see it. Max was the one who developed Saitama. Fun story, Max was given a second chance to make the TARP AI scanner for the cryptocurrencies. I believed it. And whether it was Max, whether it was Matt Mortar or just Moonshot who kind of lied about it all, I don't think I'd ever give those people other chances because of how much they burned every single community member. But that's okay. That's the lesson in crypto. You kind of have to take it as you will, and you have to learn, which kind of stinks that you have to learn the hard way. But there's a lot of people out there who learned because something just didn't feel right. And I would be the first one to tell you, I wouldn't be the first one to tell you that there were some people who just sold it so well that believe in the devs. What the other people are saying is all FUD. And I learned that that was something that I kind of fell for. When Quick Intel came out and TARP had a Discord member who brought up this new scanner. Just information. This scanner does this and this scanner shows this. Like, this would be some cool ideas. I cannot believe the hate that showed up when he decided to take sides. He didn't even take sides. He just wanted to share his thoughts, and that was weird for him. Like, why are you guys so hated on this? And because of all this stuff in the past, it makes me think, why is there so much FUD? Like, is there some truth behind it? That's probably the biggest lesson I've learned from Saitama Inu, and it helped me learn about Quick Intel. Thank goodness, because TARP was another token who did that, and I wouldn't expect anything less because it came from Saitama Inu, and I just wish I would have seen it sooner. And I believe that project too, and it pooped on my face. Just, what are you gonna do? So this is kind of funny when it comes to some of these cartoons. You have a nice little laugh if you were one who was experiencing all of this baloney. So here are some token notes. This is their ticker. They have 100 million tokens. Token program was released in 2024. There's a 2% tax on all transactions. Revoke updates. Yeah, that's all the stuff that says in the scanner. I guess when it came to some of those, if all this didn't match with their white paper, that would be kind of the beware for me. So how do you buy Saitama? Do I feel confident to buy Saitama? I kind of just like this. I mean, if they kept on doing stories like this, I think that'd be worth it. Just kind of give a good reminder to the communities who are connected with them. But you have some members of this new Saitama Wolf Pack who are writing charts down, who are believing in the token that Tom is doing something. I like Tom because I don't remember if I already said this, but he was one who, when he shared on that last stream, he said some things that kind of just set with me because he seemed like he was kind of that gullible one too, who believed. And then something just kind of twisted, like, wait, this doesn't seem right. And when he thought of the idea of getting the old holders together to try it again, make some profit, I don't think he means to say, let's try it again, get it to an $8 billion market cap, and then try to just dump your bags on everybody. Make everybody else your liquidity, because then I think in 4 years, when the next bull run comes around, you'll have the same idea like, hey, you remember Saitama Wolf Pack? Yeah, let's make a community of having a second chance of that. I don't know if they have given out tokens. I don't know if it was given out for talking about the project. I don't know if people have been given tokens because whatever reasons. I haven't asked that many questions. I feel like those would be some good questions to ask. But then again, what do you do if they kick you out? What do they do if they tell you you are asking way too many questions? I have no idea. And so when it comes to Saitama Wolf Pack, yes, they have an LLC. Yes, you can see their faces. Yes, you see YouTubers talking about it. But the real question is, would you be interested in buying something like this? Well, I'll be honest with you. I'm going to get out of that window and open this one. This isn't a terribly bad place to get into it. And I think if at the end of this stream, you know what, let's do this, okay? We'll go through the process. I did my research. I feel like there could be some profit in this token. I am not saying that this token's going to $8 billion like the old Saitama. I'm not even saying it's going to get to 100 million. But I feel like Tom does have a good idea with this. Some people might not like me for this, but I'll tell you what. Making it public what I'm trying to do here. This is V2, the Saitama Wolf Pack token. And I'm going to say $20. If this ended up doing back to its all-time high, I believe that $20 would turn into $40. If it got up to the $1 billion, I don't know what that would become if it became that 20 million market cap. But what I will show you is when I buy it here, does it make profit? Can it do what some of those YouTubers say it's going to do? It will shoot up and it will make you $100 million. Well, at the end of 6 months or at the end of the bull run, I hope I can come back to this video and say, do not believe everything they say. Or I will be able to show you proof. $20 did make me $100,000. And I bought in super early. I don't know. I might lose my $20. I might only double it. I have no idea. But I think being able to do this in front of you to show you that I'm one of those small holders. I think it will be important to show this to some who watch this video. Some might laugh at me, and that's fine. Laugh it up. But I feel like I do. I kind of believe what Tom is trying to do. And that guy, from what I understand, had a lot more money inside of his wallet when he bought the original. So $20 worth. Is now in my bag. If I sold all that, I have to consider two things. I have to consider the taxes, and I also have to think about my profits. So if I make 2%, like, hey, cool, it went up 2%, I still have to consider that tax and the tax that I just bought in. And if I send it to another wallet. So in reality, 4% I have to worry about. So if the price goes up to, let's say 10%, and I sell, I only make 6%. And as the prices go high, then you still have to consider that even more. Obviously, if I double my money, that 2% that I just bought in for isn't as much as you would think. But we'll see how it goes. We'll kind of keep on this journey. I will state again, I have not been given any tokens to make this stream, to make this video. I am doing this with my own money. I don't expect them to reach out to me. And even if they did reach out to me, I would say, just like I'm telling you, we want to give you 10 million tokens, Steven, for doing a video. No, thank you. But it's a lot of money's worth. No, thank you. I don't want to be that guy that I did not like when I watched those other YouTubers, because I feel like some of those guys, they are influencers, but I feel like when they are given tokens, they don't believe in the project. Buy the token with your own money. That's it. Buy them with your own money. So that way, if you lose on the project, you lose your own money. If you gain on the project, you gain your own. So, not saying what you have to do, not telling the team what to do, not telling holders what to do. I'm just simply saying this is what I would do. So, that's all I got. As the days go on, we'll keep on peeking at this. I can always put in, let's see if I can find that proper. I would say I could do a cross line. So I believe right here on the day chart, I bought in to Saitama. We're going to turn it into a nice little gray since they're color gray. I bought in, and I can always make an info line too. Some text. Right about here. What are we going to say? How much did I buy in? I have 2,371. Oop. Bots. Paste. Saitama Wolf Pack for $20, and that was also with Saitama. I'm not Saitama, with Solana going up in price. Wrong one. I think it was 156 I put in there. If Solana goes up, well, then that works out for me too. Okay. That was on this date. I bought in to Saitama Wolf Pack on April 1st. I bought into $20 worth. If it goes down, I will make another stream video. If I decide to DCA, and we'll talk about DCA and how that works out. And that's all I have. I hope that if you watched this video, you were able to learn something. I hope down in the future, we can see something like this go up in profit. If it doesn't, well, lesson learned again. If it does, sweet. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you feel like, I don't know. I mean, I still, there's a part of me that trusts Tom, and the other part of me feels like this is stupid. But to end on this stream, let's kind of look at what the market is doing. Our fear and greed index is at 24. It's kind of in a fear mode. Alt season's at a 17. It has not started. Maybe I just bought in right before the bull run again, like that. Some of the coins I like to look at is Sui. How is Sui doing? Where is Sui? It is ranked at 16. $2.41. It had a high of $5.35, and that is before the bull run. Monero. Monero is a fun one because I kind of reflect the market off of that. That's at a $4 billion market cap. That's the one I mined with my CPU of my computer. And that one doesn't seem like it fluctuates too much. which is kind of great. Chronos, it did well for a while. It has done kind of, it stayed about 10 cents. I got all the way up to 20 cents. What's another one on this top 100 that I have? ARB. I have ARB. Algo. I have Algo Cast. Kind of just sits there and does nothing, but it has dropped dramatically. EOS is another one I have in crypto.com. I use PayPal USD when it comes to the Solana blockchain. So if I do decide to DCA, that's where my upside gas rewards will come from. Is I will send it to my PayPal, turn it into PayPal USD on Sol, send that to that Sol account, and we will DCA with that. And well, I just use my rewards. Hopefully that pays off. So that's all I have for the top 100. Another one I look at is Telcoin. Where is Telcoin? Telcoin seemed to have bottomed out from where it was before. It hit at a all-time high in February at about 1 cent, 0.012 cents. Not too shabby. It has dropped down dramatically. It kind of hit that same low right here at 0042. Again, this wouldn't be a terrible time to kind of jump back in. It seemed to stop. I mean, it's kind of past the support line right there. It actually went under. So I believe the next level right here is 3.6 and 2.3. If it gets all the way back down there, I will definitely be adding more to that bag. However, I don't think it's too far away. The bull run, that is. But I could be wrong. I am not a huge trader when it comes to that. If we look at a couple more tokens here that I have, the AI 16Z on Sol seems to be doing better because they have a V2 coming up. Broke Bears Boat Club is another one that seems to have a low market cap that could do well. It did well when it came out and then kind of trickled away. We talked about Crow. This is another one. Cracky is still one who I want to consider because it's a part of Piggy Coin. The other part of me is still thinking about it. Piggy Coin seems to have maybe bottom out, but you have a lot of whales who have already ditched out. So fun fact, and this is something it bums me out. So Broke Bears Club, I did mention it in my Discord a couple times because I was airdropped some of those tokens by Piggy Coin. Piggy Coin was ones who get, and I think this is the difference. Piggy Coin gave me those tokens because I held on to my Piggy Coin for so long, and they saw, okay, he will hold his tokens. Not saying that was the contract or anything, or that was the promise. If I wanted to sell my tokens, it would just kind of start me back down to zero of my trust. So they gave me some of the bear coins as of a reward for holding my Piggy Coin and not selling those tokens. And I feel like that's the only reason why I don't talk about that project, is because if I was airdropped some of those rewards, I don't want it to seem like I wanted to talk about it. I wanted to get that price up and then sell my tokens. Because it's not mine, I did add some into it. Actually, I should do it again because I added some up here when it dropped down at 568. And now it's at a 1517, which would be a good time to DCA. Quick Intel is one of my top projects because of the utility I get from their scanner. They're also doing the AI. They're partnering with another team when it comes to launching. So I look forward to that. I do believe that it will get back up there and even higher. And also when it comes to the DAO, they will be able to have that as well. They have their 2 blockchains, so if you don't like Ethereum and you want to go to ARB, you can do that. Everrise is another one. We've scanned that. Haven't really solely talked about it. but they do also have utility. We have Solana. Doesn't seem like it's doing crazy great. Saitama Wolf Pack is the one that we just discussed. And it seems like if we go down to the charts, I was the last one to buy. Just talked about Telcoin. I thought that was the supports right there on that one. They kind of teetered around it, dropped below that. Here is the next one. True Gold Token. Nope. Yep, True Gold Token. This is the mining cryptocurrency. They are literally mining gold. They are going to be dropping the rock. I can't remember the terminology. From going in the caves and busting up rock, they are now placer mining, which they have been doing dramatically well from what I hear. And hopefully those airdrops and the wallets for the NFTs will be refilled, which will be great because all those have been doing is accumulating for the time they had to stop. So looking forward to that. Last one is Layer 0. Now this has been a fun one. I have been trading. I was able to buy down low. I think I got it at 1.7, and then I sold it up here at 3.15. So it's not exactly at the very top. I thought that was it on this, right about here, pretty close to the very top on that day of when they sold. But then the next day followed, and as it's been dropping, I mean, I can buy back in, but I feel like that would drop as well. So that's another stream. That's another video. That's all I have today as you look at the market, specifically looking at Saitama Wolf Pack. I have joined the Saitama Wolf Pack. It's only worth 20 bucks. So I'm not a huge voice in there, but we'll see if that matters. If every holder counts, trust the process, maybe I profit out of that. Maybe they do care about the little guy. I have no idea, but we'll see how that goes. My name is Steve. I talk about crypto. I really hope everybody has a great day. I will definitely do my best to do a couple more streams. And I guess that's really it. Everybody have an awesome day. Have a great day at work. If you go to work and you love your job, congratulations. Enjoy your day at work. If you don't like your job, well, I hope you survive it. Take it easy and have a good day.
Crypto Camo's just a Midwest Joe. Tired of the scams, tired of the show. Hometown dreamer looking for a break. Trying to find trust in the moves he'll make. He heard about quick intel scams.